Justice Kaju Subramaniam Swamy is determined to take you on. And he says, I will challenge Sanjay Dutt's release if he is given amnesty. Am I to presume, Dr. Swamy, that you have got nervous because Justice Kaju has thrown his weight behind Sanjay Dutt?
Of course, I've got nervous, no question about it. He's a great scholar, highly respected judge. I feel like Arjuna facing Bhishmacharya in Kurukshetra, but I think the right is on my side, and therefore I'm confident that what I say will prevail.
Why do you think the this case will go up to the president and Pranab Mukherjee will take it up at all?
Well, anyone can file a petition, but it's not necessary that it should be filed on his behalf. I think somewhere Mr. Dutt will also have to ask for mercy or pardon. And the Supreme Court judgments, which I don't have to quote to Justice Kaju, the landmark judgment is that of the called the Epuru Sudhakaran case, where two honorable judges of the Supreme Court laid down the law, namely Justice Kapadia and Justice Pasayat. And there they have made it clear that the only ground on which one can consider pardon or reprieve or whatever is public good. Now I'd like to know that in what way public good is going to be served in this matter. One can argue whether the sentence was correct or not correct. Judges can make mistakes, all that. But there is no question here that almost the unanimous opinion is that Sanjay Dutt has got the lightest possible sentence under the circumstances compared to what others have got. You now have a new case of Ms. Debu Nisa, which is in fact more stark than Sanjay Dutt's. So what we have to look at is within the framework of these Supreme Court judgments, whether it can be done. And second, there is also a question that we are becoming an increasingly soft state. Terrorist attack takes place, and now it's no use saying that someone was not in the know or not in the know. It is the duty of every citizen to be extremely alert, and then the police does its investigation.
Yes, but
several layers of
but there is a
judicial exercise their mind.
But there is besides the judicial process, there is a pardon and reduction of sentence process under Article 72 and 161.
For what?
That is what Justice Kaju is arguing for tonight.
No, but that is also not unfettered power. He himself would tell you that it's not an unfettered power. It is a power subject to judicial review. There are guidelines or framework or parameters that have been laid down in various judgments, and I don't think that Sanjay Dutt's case figures in any of those within those parameters.
I want to now get in, Justice Kaju, among your, I want a point-by-point rebuttal from you on the points made by Subramaniam Swamy, and also to his other arguments that the law should be the same for everyone, and the moral, he says, behind the Supreme Court judgment is that no matter how big you are, no matter how popular you are, you must serve the sentence.
See, law of course has to be the same for everybody, but the facts in each case may be different. You have to see the facts in Sanjay Dutt's case. Firstly, the Supreme Court has held that he is not involved in those bomb blasts. Secondly, all that has been held that he was in possession of a prohibited weapon, but in paragraph 70 of the Supreme Court judgment, it has been observed by the Supreme Court that those prohibited weapons were not for terrorist activities but for self-protection. That is the finding of the Supreme Court in paragraph 70. So I have pleaded for pardon for Sanjay. I am not questioning the Supreme Court verdict because the minimum prescribed is 5 years under the Arms Act. But pardon proceedings are different from judicial proceedings, and in pardon proceedings humanitarian element also comes into play. It's not just public interest. You can have humanitarian considerations also for granting pardon. Now please consider in the case of Sanjay Dutt. He has served 18 months in jail. It is not that he is getting away scot-free. In fact, he can't get away scot-free. He has already served the sentence, 18 months in jail. Then after he was released on bail, for at least it took him 5 or 6 years to restore his damaged career, because he was almost ostracized for these 5-6 years. Nobody would come near him. He was socially boycotted. No film producer would offer him a role, thinking that the film will remain incomplete because Sanjay Dutt may again go to jail. He could not get bank loans. He could not go abroad for foreign shooting. Each visit abroad he had to take permission from court. 20 years harassment. And also in this period he has got married and had children and all. So he has served the sentence, not 5 years imprisonment.
Then why don't we close all the cases? If I were to argue,
more.
Justice Kaju, just on a limited point, that by that logic we should
Yes.
close all the cases against all film stars, because you know there are other cases going on. For example, Salman Khan is facing a case in a hit and run case. Now, I'm not preempting what the court may or may not do in that case, but it's been now almost a decade, I think, since that case went on. Tomorrow, if Salman Khan is sentenced, God forbid, for him, and tomorrow he can turn around and say, you know, I have been working very hard, I'm a film star, I have restored my career, and I can get 5 film stars to say that I'm a good person.
Listen, I have not studied Salman Khan's case, so I am not in a position to comment about his case. I am commenting about Sanjay Dutt's case. And please understand, I am least impressed by the fact that he's a film star. I have repeatedly been making appeals for pardon to non-celebrities. I've quoted it 100 times in your TV channels. Gopal Das, Khalil Chishti, Sarabjit Singh. I've been pleading even for it's nothing to do with celebrity. But what I'm saying is, consider Sanjay Dutt's case. Don't mix up with other cases, because I don't know the facts of the other case. In Sanjay Dutt's case, if he had got away scot-free without going for a day to jail, or without having to face harassment for 20 years, I would have, of course, not pleaded for. But he has suffered a lot in 20 years. It is not that he has got away scot-free. He has been to jail. He has suffered so much hardships and tribulations. So, considering all those facts, I would say that in 20 years a person changes. You know, you become a different man after 20 years. There's no allegation that in these 20 years he has done anything wrong.
That's true.
Rather, he has been doing social good.
No, neither has Zebu Nisa Qazi. Neither has Zebu Nisa Qazi. I want to get Subramaniam Swamy. You have a counter question, or should I have a follow-up question for Justice Kaju, or would you like to respond to him first?
Yeah. I want to say one thing, that after hearing Justice Kaju, it appears that he feels that we should show some mercy to Sanjay Dutt, and that we should give him reprieve as an act of grace. With your permission, I may just read out a short paragraph of Justice Kapadia, whose judgment today holds the field. And he says on paragraph 60 of his judgment, Epuru Sudhakar versus the government of Andhra Pradesh, which was in 2006, the following: pardons, reprieves and remissions are manifestations of the exercise of prerogative power. These are not acts of grace. They are part of a constitutional scheme. When a pardon is granted, it is the determination of the ultimate authority that public welfare will be better served by inflicting less than what the judgment has fixed. Now you see, I don't understand. Here is a person who is a cinema star. He, by his own admission, was engaged with the criminals of the highest order, who are for whom there is an Interpol alert. He receives weapons from one of them. He is in, even after the judgment against him, there's a taped conversation of him in Abu Salim. He is not just a film star who didn't know what he was doing and he got into it. He was a person who had activities beyond that of a film star. And the court has been extraordinarily lenient so far. Yes, it's a fact that he has been at the lower level given exemption from being treated as a terrorist. But that is a judgment that was not appealed, and that we know in the case from the case of Kottarachi and others, that obviously there is some other reason. Yeah, now, I would just say, there is today, Justice Kaju has made no case of how public welfare is going to be enhanced if Mr. Sanjay Dutt is given a reprieve.
This is the second time that the point is being made to you by Subramaniam Swamy. Justice Kaju, do you believe that it is important to establish how public good is served by releasing Sanjay Dutt as part of your case? Do you feel your case is weak if you don't make that point? And if you feel that point needs to be made, could you please elaborate how public good will be served by releasing Sanjay Dutt?
Let me answer you immediately. Mr. Subramaniam Swamy does not know as much law as I know. I have been in the legal world for 40 years. He has been more in the political world, or I don't know what world. See, let me complete, please. See, he just picks up, picking up one Supreme Court ruling and building up an argument on that is not the correct way. You have to see a large number of Supreme Court rulings. Just picking up one Justice Kapadia's ruling and then hopping on it is what Mr. Subramaniam Swamy is doing.
You please quote one.
Also, listen, Mr. Subramaniam Swamy, I am not here to be cross-examined by you, and I never interrupted you. Have
Yes, sir,
I'm making a request. I'm not cross-examining
Let him complete. Dr. Subramaniam
have some
Swamy.
decency not to interrupt.
Dr. Swamy, let him complete. Let him complete his
Mr.
point.
Subramaniam Swamy should have the decency not to interrupt me. Did I interrupt him when he was speaking? He should have some decency not to interrupt me.
I agree, you did not,
speaking.
but I'm only making a request.
Not to interrupt.
Okay. Dr. Swamy.
I'm making a request that you quote the Supreme Court judgment after 2006.
अब कैसे बात करें भाई?
So please continue. Dr.
Mr. Subramaniam Swamy, have the decency not to interrupt. Did I interrupt you for a second when you were speaking?
Let him continue.
I had so many requests to make from you, but still I said remain silent. Have the decency to remain silent when somebody else is speaking. There must be some discipline in these discussions. There are large number of decisions where on humanitarian considerations pardon has been granted. I'm not carrying my library here to bring those books, and it can be brought in some other discussion if you want to, but humanitarian consideration is certainly one consideration in pardon proceedings. Consider the fact, this man has not got away scot-free. He has, as I said, undergone so much hardship, so many tribulations for 20 years. He has suffered so many indignities. He has remained in jail for 18 months. His career was almost smashed. With great difficulty, he could restore his career after 5-6 years by this Munna Bhai film and all that. So it is not that he has not suffered. I can understand if he had not suffered, not gone to jail, you send him to jail. But he has been to jail for 20 years. Now the approach is either you take the approach of Shylock, that I want a pound of flesh of Sanjay Dutt, or you have the approach of Portia, who pleaded in Merchant of Venice that justice should be tempered with mercy. Now it is up to you. You can become Shylock or you can become Portia. But I believe in becoming Portia in a case where a person has already suffered. Had he not suffered. So you must consider all this. He has not been found to be involved in the bomb blast. Only thing is that he had some weapon, and in paragraph 70 of the Supreme Court judgment, it is mentioned that though he kept those weapons for self-protection, not for terrorist activity. Yeah. That is the finding of the Supreme Court in para 70. Yeah, now, in these circumstances, when now after he has spent 20 years, he's got married, he's got children. Now, in 20 years, a person changes. So therefore, now in these circumstances, on humanitarian consideration, in my opinion, it's a very fit case for grant of pardon. It has nothing to do with celebrity status.
So may I just make one simple point? I mean, I'm not between a former Supreme Court judge and a legal of eminence. I am highly underqualified. But it is worth noting, Justice Kaju, that again I will say I'm being selective. There's this Maruram versus Union of India case, when the Supreme Court, deciding the validity of 433A, examined the power of pardon under 72. It observed, and you know it better than me, pardon, it said, quote, using this expression in the amplest connotation, talking about pardon, ordains fair exercise as we have indicated above. Political vendetta or party favoritism cannot but be interlopers in this area. So it can be argued that politicians